Welcome. Once again, it's on. Here we go again. Here we go again. 50 Cent and Irv Gotti. As I promised you, I told you this before. You just don't remember. So I don't mind repeating myself. So here we go again. Cause I used to try to tell y'all, like, man, dude, I spoke on this. I told y'all this was gonna happen. I told y'all this was gonna happen. Y'all didn't listen. All right, here we go again. When when he came out, when he came out, Irv Gotti got the deal with BET, and he got the rights to do the when Jay Z basically came in the office and did the deal for him and got him the thing for Tails, right? When he got the Tails deal, this was what he wanted to do because he knew this is what was gonna bring people together. I mean, bring the money in. The Murder Inc. story. Oh, that was gonna be something heavy. But Irv was thinking a movie about Murder Inc. Then he started to see how 50 was getting success with just doing a series, a show. So each episode of a show that runs anywhere from you could do like 600,000 almost to 700,000 for an episode. So you looking at all sometimes they're over a million, depending on your network and what they're willing to dish out. So this costs money. Now, Murder Inc. We all know their history. Who don't know the history of Murder Inc? Well, it is an epic one because it paid and paved the way for all these rappers whose careers was going up to the top, from DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti, Jay Z. Without Murder Inc., they wouldn't be a Jay Z. Not in this business. He would have retired a long time ago. Because it just wasn't hitting. But because of the success of Swiss Beats, the Rough Riders, Murder Inc., all of that together, they all went to the top. But the fall was greater than the rise. And when you have a fall that's greater than the rise, you have a epic, epic layout for a series. And now, because the series is in place, everyone is shaking their head like, "Oh my God, he wanted to do this last year. He wanted to get this greenlit last year. That's why he was stirring up and kicking up all this dust with 50 Cent and everything else, and 50 is involved. 50 has already put out a notice of, cease and desist. He don't want any likeness rights. No authorization of his name can be used in this Murder Inc. Series. There can be no likeness of his character in this film. Now, however they want to dance around that, I'm quite sure they'll find a way to dance around 50 Cent. But it's almost impossible to tell a Murder Inc. story without talking about the 50 Cent. So we're going to see how this plays out. But they announced it. Irv announced the Murder Inc. television series coming out. And that's going to create a storm. Believe me, a storm. Because that involves everything. Tupac, Suge Knight, yeah, Tupac ain't even here no more. And he aligns himself up perfectly with the Murder Inc. story. Because Suge Knight tried to recruit Ja Rule and looked at him and calling him the new Tupac. Suge was getting back in the game. And that was his ticket. Ja Rule. Found his new pot. And now 50 Cent had problems. Right? So they thought. So with all of this success going on, this became the notion of all notions. Why? Why now? Because 50's had success with it. He got the ABC deal for life. They seeing, man, 50 finna get all this money on the back end. You know, like 50 said, he was getting like $17,000 an episode when they were doing Power. When they first started, he was getting $17,000 an episode. That's it. And he was like, you know, I could do a feature at a club and get more money than that. But he believed in it. So now, you know, now it's way more money. So here's the layout. Irv is trying to hang on to the past because that's where his money is. Fifth don't have to do that. Fifth is already moved on to doing other things. You don't hear him talking about get rich or die trying. He didn't already move forward from that. But he got to hang on to that because that's his whole legacy. Now, Irv is a great producer, but he starts getting ahead of himself and start getting his ego jump out of his body, and he start talking again. Every time. Gets him in trouble. But I will watch the show. Because I'm not somebody who disliked Murder Inc. Sorry about that. People jumped in and chimed in and wanted to get down. But I told you this is what Irv wanted to do. Way back then, I said, the secret is this. He wants to do a Murder Inc. project over there. 50 already stopped it before. Because the project they wanted to do, Phil stopped it because he said, look, you're not finna have my likeness in this project. And you're not finna have my name in this project. I do not allow any of it to exist. Now remember, when they did the movie for Get Rich or Die Trying, they had an Irv Gotti character and they had a Ja Rule-like character in there. A guy named Dangerous. And that was allowed. So there's loopholes around it. But I guess they were largely making this situation with them around the 50 Cent beef. Like he was like a main character almost in this whole rivalry. Where they're making scenarios of him cooperating with the police and doing all these different things. It's like, wow, it's really crazy. So if you 50 Cent, you don't want this to be a success. Why would you? I don't know who these people are. Everybody wants to call me when I'm making a video. But there was another problem, ladies and gentlemen. So those who logged out and didn't stay as long as I am here, I'm here to tell you another issue that they have. And here's that other issue, ladies and gentlemen. The other issue is Murder INC are not all cool with Irv Gotti. That's right. All those guys who weren't getting paid, they're not that cool with Irv Gotti. The whole Murder INC, they're not as cool as they were with Irv Gotti. Ashanti ain't cool with Irv. Ja, the only one that's really cool with him. So to tell the story, you got all those dudes who was really the muscle, in the group, and when the muscle ain't cool with you, that's what it is. Uh-oh. Man, that's crazy. But anyhow, Irv Gotti has put himself right back in the box where he wants to get in the ring with 50 Cent. For what? You got things to fix and Murder INC first. Okay? That's what you got to do, and that's what you got to address. That's your main problem. You got in-house problems that have nothing to do with 50 Cent. Your problems got to deal with Ashanti's unhappy, and a lot of other people are unhappy with your practices. Jennifer Lopez don't even like you no more. You had a lot of things that you've done that you damaged that could have been fixed, but you didn't fix it. So, anyhow, I'm out. Didn't want to take up too much of your time. Just wanted to hit you with the facts of what's really going on out here. So a lot of tropes that they can go down with Murder INC. We might learn some behind the scene information, but some of it could be dramatized for television. So we got to go on that note. And don't forget, man, you can hit the Cash App up and support your boy's page. Carcino's the name on the Cash App. You know, well, you know now. I'm out. Be blessed.